Hello, this is Chris, and I am back again with another trailer reaction video, continuing the San Diego Comic-Con trailers that we got yesterday. This is Aquaman Official Trailer 1. This is pretty much the big one that most people have been talking about. We got the poster earlier last week, I think it was, with Aquaman in the middle, with all the different sea creatures around him, and we knew that a trailer was imminent as soon as we knew Comic-Con was coming up, and the fact that the movie comes out later this year, and we've pretty much had no word on it until this point. Once again, I'm going to do the intro that I did to my Shazam trailer reaction, which is right up before this one, in that please be respectful. If you're a DC fanboy, fangirl, that's fine. Please be respectful of other people's opinions. My other DC videos have got a lot of heat, which has been actually pretty hilarious. Not all of us love the DCEU as of right now, and I guess I'm just going to say the same again. I loved Wonder Woman. It was one of my favourite movies of that year. However, all the other DCEU movies so far, I haven't liked at all, but I really want them to find their feet with this one, especially in a post-Justice League world, which even fans, I think, of DC were quite, you know, miffed of how that movie turned out, and it was kind of a disaster in terms of the, you know, the direction and the studio wanting it in that way and unfinished effects and everything like that. I get it. So hopefully Aquaman's pretty good, because we didn't really get a whole lot of his character in Justice League. Like, we got Jason Momoa shirtless, throwing bottles of whiskey in slow motion and going like, "Yeah, my man," and that was his character. I love the character of Aquaman. He's one of my favourite characters in DC Comics, and I know that his lore is very expansive and the world could be great. It's almost like Thor, like with Thor with Asgard, that was always the most interesting stuff to me. So if we get the same with Aquaman and his kingdom, then, you know, if we spend a lot of time there getting to know that culture and everything, I think it could be a really, really good movie. Also, what I'm really looking forward to about this movie is the fact that it's directed by James Wan, who's mostly a horror director. I know in terms of action movies, he directed Fast and Furious 7, so we know that he can do action, and I'm interested to see Wan bring his directorial stamp to this movie. I think that could be very, very interesting. So that'll be the intro. I don't have any more to say, so with all that being said, we're going to watch the trailer together now, and we'll talk much more about it afterwards. So I'm going to click play now.
My father was a lighthouse keeper. My mother was a queen. But life has a way of bringing people together.
We could unite our worlds one day.
Check it out. Arthur is talking to the fish.
This is Deep Blue Sea. Jaws 3D.
They made me what I am. Permission to come aboard.
Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from
Your
me.
half-brother King Orm is about to declare war upon the surface world.
The only way to stop this war is for you to take your rightful place as king.
Trust me, I am no king.
You do your best thinking when you're not thinking at all.
That was the worst pep talk ever.
Might want to strap in.
I like his new armor. His new armor's pretty cool.
My brother has come from the surface to challenge me for the throne.
I call it an ass whooping.
His dialogue's awful. They're all so, like,
No leader.
frat boyish.
I came because I have no choice. I came to save my home and the people that I love.
Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Because you're of two different worlds.
She's got red hair. Like,
That is exactly why you are worthy.
there's always a bigger fish.
That was awesome.
The war is coming to the surface. And I'm
Black
bringing
Manta,
the wrath
nice.
of the seven seas with me.
Was that the thing from Jurassic World?
Should have a parachute.
Redheads, you gotta love them.
Oh boy. Oh. I'm sorry guys, I didn't like this trailer. And everyone's going to hate me now. Leave your comments now. Make it the most disliked video on the channel. I don't care. I didn't like this trailer. I'm going to open with what I do like. and then I'm going to go into everything that I didn't like. So the stuff that I did like, whilst the CGI isn't great on some parts, I was kind of getting Green Lantern vibes with some of the CGI on the costumes and everything, and the capes. The world does look interesting. It looks very creative. I like the fact that they've like embraced the ridiculousness of it. Like, you've got whole armies riding sharks, you've got armies riding seahorses. That's the stuff I want to see. That looks awesome, and it looks like we're going to get a big battle out of that as well, so that could get very creative. The world looks very rich, it looks developed, and it looks like visually it could be an incredible experience. And actually, I think I don't know if they developed new technologies for it, because in terms of like creating an environment, like that's done in video games, that's been done in big budget movies since like the inception of CGI pretty much. But the expansive, I did hear something about they'd pretty much created the entire world in like almost like a virtual reality thing. I could be wrong about this. If anyone knows more about this, please let me know. And they can like put the camera in and sort of just free roam, go all around the world. So that could be very interesting. Could get some nice camera angles and everything like that. The stuff that I don't like... Oh, another thing I like, Black Manta. He's right off the page. I love that they've just kept the costume exactly the same. He almost looks like a Power Rangers villain, and I absolutely love it. Black Manta will be awesome. Now, stuff I don't like. Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I'm going to outright say it. The guy can't act unless he's talking in sort of like a guttural, made-up language, like Dothraki or whatever happens to be. When he's playing a kind of badass like that with very limited dialogue, he's good. He fits the bill. However, he doesn't make a likable hero, especially when all of his dialogue is literally exactly the same as it was in Justice League. Justice League, he was very bro-ish. He was like, as I said in my reaction, he's very much like frat boyish. And he might have character moments. That might be how he starts the movie, and then he becomes much more regal towards the end. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like he's just throwing cheap, like, bro-ish one-liners all the way through the movie. And that doesn't make an interesting character to me. That doesn't make a likable, interesting Aquaman. And I know that Aquaman can be written like very, very complex, with very, very interesting character traits and, you know, stance in the world that he's in, and the stakes of what's going on the surface world. He can be written well. This doesn't look like it's written well. And like also the female lead as well, she doesn't look very interesting, and you know there's going to be like that whole romance thing going on there. Maybe she'll betray him or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know all of the characters in the comics. I just like the character of Aquaman. That's all I can say, really. I don't have a lot to say on these DCEU movies. I really don't. It looks fine. I think it'll definitely be a lot better than the likes of, say, Man of Steel, which I really didn't care for, and Batman v Superman, especially Justice League and Suicide Squad. How Suicide Squad and Justice League especially were really sort of like messed around in the editing process and the direction. Like that, I think they were originally pitched as a certain tone, and then they kind of were messed around with by the studio in the editing room to try and make them, you know, have a different feel to them. It seems like they've just kind of let James Wan make the movie he wants to make with this, which could be definitely beneficial, could be a lot tighter, and this is what I think DC should work on. Warner Brothers is not go so far out of their way to make everything connect like Marvel's doing. Just make solid standalone movies. Like Shazam could be great. You've got a few references in there to like Batman and Superman and things like that, but inherently that could be a standalone movie. Wonder Woman, if you shave off like the first like couple of minutes, like the first 30 seconds and the last 30 seconds of that movie, you've got a great standalone Wonder Woman movie. And I kind of wish they would just do that, just make good standalone movies and see what happens. And maybe this will be, I don't want to come down like thunder on this trailer, but initial opinions on the first trailer, I am a little bit let down by it, and that's mostly, in fact it's pretty much entirely down to the cast of characters and the script that they've been given, and kind of a little bit of Jason Momoa as well. He looks cool, he looks the part, but the acting is what counts, and the character and the script and the line delivery, and I'm just not getting it from him. So that'll do it for my reaction to Aquaman Trailer 1. I am now going to brace for all of the hate mail from all of the DC fanboys and fangirls out there. Bring it on. If you want to make it the most disliked video, go right ahead. But I've got to be honest on these things. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to like roll over and just pretend that I love the DCEU and the films that they've made so far. If I'm not liking something, I'll say it. So that'll do for my reaction to Aquaman official trailer 1. Be sure to comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought of this trailer. Are you looking forward to it? Are you not looking forward to it? Anything about Aquaman, any more information you can give me about the character or the side characters of the world, anything like that, please do let me know. I've got one more trailer to do for San Diego Comic-Con, and I've got through them all. There wasn't as many as I thought there were going to be, which is kind of a blessing, but one more trailer to talk about, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.